Good evening, sports fans. Did you miss us? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Sports Couple Perspectives, right here on IESports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. My goodness, it has been too long, hasn't it? I mean, I feel like we have been on forever. Sorry. Yeah, I know, it's been a while. But we're back yet again. I know. Blame stupid work and school and all that crap. But
well, it's not stupid work. At least not for me.
we love our jobs. And don't get me wrong, we love them. We dearly love our jobs. Being teachers is awesome. Well, teacher para. It's awesome, but you know, sometimes it gets it gets a little overwhelming with good old work. But with that said, we're back and we are happy to be here, aren't we, tonight? This is fun. So yeah. Glad to be back at it, and we are definitely ready to rock and roll with the first ever IESports Radio draw. I mean, my goodness, we have a tiny little twist to the new way to induct people into the IESports Radio Hall of Fame. The journey begins tonight as we are ready to roll. We're ready to get into this, and well, we'll talk about that new rule coming up in just a little bit here. And well, the journey into New Year's Eve, where the IESports Radio Hall of Fame, well, where that gets decided. We will talk about that in a few minutes. Also, the newest adventure for us in the Adventure Couples Edition, or the Adventure Challenge book, Couples Edition. We'll scratch off our new scratch sheet tonight and what date we're going to be doing soon. Talk about our previous dates. That'd be a lot of fun. And then, of course, we are talking about esports. Are they really sports? That's something that I think is very, very up for debate. So, yeah, no, that's a fun one that we're going to be talking about. Also, talking a little college football playoff as the Pac-12 Championship and the Conference USA Championship are underway at the moment. We'll be talking about the show that we have been kind of addicted to that came back and ended again, Manifest. And we're also going to go ahead and jump into Cecilia's new favorite book. Oh yeah, we got plenty of that and more coming up on tonight's edition of the Sports Couple Perspectives right here on IESports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Sports fans, do you like teams that are tough, cities that are tougher, and fan bases that are passionate about their teams? How about teams that are historic and stadiums that are iconic? Then you belong in Chicago, and you need to check out Chi-Town Weekly. Join me, Adam Kernan, every week as we keep up with all things Chicago sports. Bears, Bulls, Blackhawks, Cubs, White Sox. We'll cover them all, plus more. The Windy City is always buzzing, and we'll keep you up on all the big games and major stories. So tune in to Chi-Town Weekly every week right here on IESports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
It's been 20 years since Brazil lifted the World Cup trophy. For Neymar and Gabriel Jesus, that is unacceptable and must be changed. The 2022 World Cup comes to the USRN family of networks in November.
What's up, everybody? This is Taryn Rodriguez. Are you a fan of volleyball? Are you a fan of Thunder Spikes? then I have the show for you. Set Point, where I cover NCAA men's and women's volleyball, high school boys and girls volleyball, beach volleyball, and even professional volleyball. Catch the action every week here on IESports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
That is correct, ladies and gentlemen. IESports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Well, hopefully you got something warm and delicious, like some hot chocolate, or maybe some coffee, or maybe something yummy, and you're tuned in and enjoying the show. So whether you're listening to the live version, or of course you're listening to the podcast version, we appreciate you so much for tuning in and showing us some love. Big ups to Mr. Mike Pat and Mr. Taryn Rodriguez in the chat room. And, well, we got a lot to get to tonight, but the first things first, hey, it's been a fun week of school for us, of course. So, yeah, as you know, a paraeducator, me, a teacher, of course, finishing my last, I believe, job as what you would call a sub or like a resident, and almost finished getting that credential finished and getting my own classroom soon, so I'm really excited about that. But, yeah, I'm on long-term assignments usually, and Cecilia doing her thing with their students over there, and we're just really, really, really happy and blessed to have our jobs. Love them, right?
Yep, I definitely love my job. I love what I do.
Best jobs ever. I mean, we love them. But, of course, like I said, it takes a lot from us, though, sometimes, and we just like, blah, when we get home on a Friday, we're like, blah, we have so many things to take care of, too, grocery shopping, all that fun stuff. But anyway, you guys, we're back and happy to do that, and we promise we're going to stay consistent. We just really have to work at it. But, of course, gotta ask my lovely wife, how was your day?
It was good. It was an easy day today, so we got to watch a movie the whole entire time, and then we had clubs.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, yeah.
And
I got to read my book, so.
And we're going to be talking about that book here tonight. Trust me, it's going to be, Cecilia has been buried in this thing. Just got her a new tablet, for Christmas, but didn't want to wait, you guys. Trust me, you guys know Black Friday, after Black Friday, it is just chaos. And, well, tomorrow we're going to go into war. I'm just kidding. Tomorrow we're going to start our Christmas shopping. Are you excited for that?
Yeah, I am. I know you're not, though. You're Mr. Angry Man over here.
Hey, I'm excited. I just, crowds, they're kind of annoying. But I'm really, 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 really happy. And it should be fun. We're in our last, I guess, week. We just came back from Thanksgiving vacation, and we just finished 1 week. Now we got 1 week after this, and then finals after that, and then we are off for like a full month. Aren't you excited?
Yeah, this is definitely my first time ever having a month off, basically, in a long time. I mean, the last time I was able to do this was when I was in high school. So, yeah, now being able to have the teacher's perspective, or at least a paraeducator, the aide. It's nice.
It is awesome, isn't it? Like, it is just so great. So, yeah, we're loving what we do and just enjoying ourselves, and I love it. My wife and I now get the same breaks, the same everything. So it's really three full weeks off that we get going into the new year, but we're just going to enjoy it with ourselves and just enjoy it with family, friends, and have a lot of fun. So, anyway, tonight we're going to embark on a new journey with the IESports Radio Hall of Fame. So, in the past, I did it to where we had the names drawn. I just put them kind of at random, and it would be 4 to a voting box on Twitter, okay, in a voting poll. And at first, I had it to where I just tallied up all the votes for every, percentages, and the top 2 moved on. And some people didn't think that was very fair. They were like, wait a minute. What if, we only get 10 votes? The top person in this particular voting poll, because I put numerous voting polls out and I put them all together basically. The top person here gets 10 votes, the next person gets 7, the next person gets 5, the next person gets none. And then over here on this voting poll, it's a very competitive one, and there's 75 for the top person, 50 for the next person, 50 or 49 for the next person, and the next person down has 35. Why is it that the top 2 from every voting poll goes? You're telling me that the person that only got 10 votes is going to get in over the person that got 10 votes in this voting poll, just because they're second place, the person beneath them got like 7, and the person beneath them got 0. So you're telling me, though, that the person that has 30 at the bottom of this very competitive voting poll is going to get in over the people, you know what I mean, is going to get in, the person that has 7 votes is going to get in over them, or 10 votes is going to get in over them? Like, are you serious? So I started thinking about it. I started doing the math, where we put the division together and do the percentage thing and all that. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to do it where I'm going to put all the polls out, but it's going to be in competition to where everybody votes, and I'm going to do the math, and it doesn't matter what voting poll you're in of 4 people, we're just going to do, you can vote, but we're just going to do the math. So basically, however many votes everyone got, I'm going to tally those up and put those on a big giant board that I will be releasing daily throughout the voting, and you get it. The top people go every week, the next round, the bottom people with the less votes get cut off. And then I started thinking today, I want to do this draw. It'd be a lot of fun, but then I was like, well, if I do that, the draw's not going to make any sense because, well, we're going to put everybody in groups of 4s, but once again, the top people, it's not going to be like it matters. Draws are usually like, oh, well, if the top 2 people go, like the World Cup, that's what it's all about. You got to win the group. So I thought it'd be fun to do a draw where we do it live. We're going to use a Google randomizer, the wheel. Tonight we're going to do a draw and make all the groups of 4. I'm going to go back to the old way for 1 round. The first round, we're going to do whoever's in those groups. So unfortunately, yes, if there is a group where somebody is second place and they have like 10 votes or 12 votes, and unfortunately in the other group where even 3rd and 4th place have over 20 votes, unfortunately, yes, that person who has 10 votes in the non-competitive poll is going to get in over those other people. I know, but I just thought it'd be a fun little twist because the draw is always fun. Just kind of like in World Cup action or like in UEFA in the Champions League. Some of these groups aren't very competitive. Some of the pools and others are. So really good teams might not get in because, well, they unfortunately got in tough with a tough group. Then after that, I'm going to do the voting polls regularly, how I was, and then do the percentages, and then everybody will advance that way. So you guys will see how it'll pan out. I think I just confused Cecilia over here completely.
Yeah.
But you guys will see how it pans out. So USC is about to take the field. Actually, they are right now. Kickoff's about to be underway. Really excited for that. Our team over here is about to get down, hopefully win a freaking title tonight. Last time we played Utah, it was annoying. Had a big lead and basically gave the whole thing up and lost by a point, 43-42 or something like that. Not a fan. Not happy. Very irritated after that. Tonight, SC has a chance to redeem themselves. Let's go. So anyway, with that said, you guys, there's our introduction. That's how the iESports Radio voting poll is going to be set up this year. And we're excited tonight towards the end of the show. Well, actually, no, towards the middle and in the end, we're going to do random draws here throughout our show to keep you guys interested. We're not going to do it all at once. But yeah, so with that said, we are going to start off talking about our movie/show of the week, and that, of course, is going to be Manifest. So, a new season came out. A new season just came out. And, well, I don't know how long ago it came out. It wasn't that long ago. But it came out. We thought that was going to be basically the end of it. I read some stuff last time that somebody else hasn't picked it up. Or it's, I guess, some other station, whoever it was on, they dropped them. Netflix picked it up or something.
It was on CBS or something like that.
Was it CBS?
Or ABC. One of the two.
Well, they dropped them.
Yes.
And then Netflix was like, no, we can't have that. Because it was originally on, Netflix picked it up to play, right? Yes. And then well, they saw that a lot of fans were disappointed. And so they're like, well, we'll pick it up. Because obviously Netflix, too, needs more members. But, yeah, so they decided to pick it up. Which is really cool, because honestly, Manifest is a pretty cool show. Long story short, it's about a plane that takes off one day and doesn't come back for 5 years. Pretty crazy, right? There was an actual story like this that took place. I guess some plane really did take off from Florida and ended up landing somewhere in, I don't know where, somewhere in Venezuela, I believe. And it touched down. It was like the ghost plane, but no one ever got off or something like that. And then it took off again.
They were gone for 5 years.
They were gone.
So they presumed all the passengers on that plane were dead.
Pretty crazy, right? And in real life, the story wasn't as crazy as it. I think, unfortunately, the plane probably did crash. So rest in peace to all the people in there. But then again, I don't know. I mean, that was just like a... So basically, this is like a build off of that. Mm-hmm. Like making a story, well, what if they did come back? And what if they went on to like regular life and all that? So it's really crazy, this whole story. So yeah, do you want to... let's talk about it a little bit. So first things first, just insane how the story has built, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. I mean, it sucks because this was supposed to be the last season, and it seemed like it was recorded during COVID time because it's not funny, sorry, but at the end of the credits, they always put like the show was like recorded with COVID protocols and whatnot. So that's cool that they did that. They were safe. They made sure all the actors and extras and everybody who was on set to, be safe rather than sorry. But this show is cool. It has a lot of turns and twists, and sometimes it's kind of hard to keep up, but at the same time, you just have to go back or, try to understand it. But it's not too bad. I like the show.
No, it's awesome. I really enjoyed it. I've always been into aviation. I thought it was really cool. And just that whole, I like the ghost stories and like the freakiness of like certain stories like that. So I thought it would be really cool to check out. And I don't know, was it you or me who first was like, let's watch this?
I was.
You were.
Because my dad told me about it, and then I was like, well, let's check it out. And he said it was on Netflix. I was like, okay. Well, at that time, it was still airing on one of the channels. But we just caught up from season 1. I don't know how many seasons were out at that time. I forgot. But we caught up, and then we waited until it was on, or they added more of the series on Netflix, and then we found out that it was on Netflix, like, forever. But, yeah.
It's a pretty cool show. I think it's pretty neat. Really crazy, all these callings they get, and it's kind of like it helps them save people and everything. But at the end of the day, it doesn't get repetitive, but at the end of the day, more than the callings, trying to have people, trying to, it's like a SOS, like save this person, save this person, save this person. At the end of the day, the burning question is what is it? Did they really leave and go to some, like what happened? Did they fly into some, other dimension and then come back? Did they literally fly into another dimension and, where they don't belong?
It makes you wonder, too. You kept saying, they're probably dead and they're just reliving whatever. Or maybe they're in purgatory. But, yeah.
Exactly. What is it?
It's we have to figure out if they're really dead or not.
It's crazy. It really is. And it's what is it? Did they die? What is it? It's crazy. So yeah, we definitely enjoyed that. I don't know. Do you recommend this? Do you think this is by the way, huge play all the way down to the 2-yard line? Oh yeah, that's how we start a game, SC. Really excited for that. Anyway, so once again, what do you think? Do you recommend this?
I like the show, don't get me wrong, but for me, to be honest, I think it would just be a one-time watch. But if you definitely like the mystery, sci-fi, and I think that's really it. If you like all that stuff, then yeah, it's really good to watch. I would recommend it just so that you can say you have seen it, but yeah.
I think it's awesome. I recommend it fully. Yeah, once again, you're going to watch it to watch it, it's not like you're going to rewatch any of these things. But totally agree. Such a cool show. By the way, touchdown USC, so really happy about that on the first drive. Washington to Williams for a 2-yard pass into the end zone, so extra point was good by Lynch, and it's 7-0 SC, so really happy about that. But yes, totally one-time watch, but really cool show. Mm-hmm. So yeah, with that, really fast, we want to talk about this really quick, kind of a little something jumping around here today. So, talked about the show or movie of the week, of course, Manifest. Now we're going to go ahead and talk about this college football playoff. What a journey this has been. And this just begs, Cecilia and I already talked about this kind of a while back, but as of right now, I do want to kind of revisit this topic because, my gosh, it's that time of year, and right now we're getting USC playing Utah in the Pac-12 championship. Right now, Georgia, currently 12-0, the SEC. We know that the Southeastern Conference, of course, the SEC, where all the Southern teams play, and it is literally like a mini NFL, or like people would say, like, if anything, that's like the freaking feeder league, the minor league to the NFL, the SEC, this conference in college football. Well, there is some of a bias. There is somewhat of an SEC bias, but we've known that forever. Alabama has been ruling this for the last 10 years. They've been in and around it for a long time. Regardless, this year, I don't know if they're going to get in or not. I don't think they are. Anyway, so Georgia reigns top at 12-0. Then we have Michigan at 12-0 as well, out of the Pac-10. Michigan just stomped all over Ohio State, their rivals. It's insane to see them win the way they did, but hey, the winds have changed, right? But they're out of the Big Ten. Okay, another one of the Big Five, the Power 5 conferences. Then you have TCU, who's 12-0. They're just kind of stuck in there out of the Big 12. Hey, we'll see how they do. If they will stay there. They got a game coming up, of course, tomorrow, and for the Big 12. And then, of course, USC right now, 11-1, did take one loss this year, and they are currently number 4. If they stay this way, USC will play Georgia, and TCU would play Michigan, and the winners, of course, of those games play each other in the national championship in January. Okay. Right outside of them, we have Ohio State at 11-1, and then Alabama at 10-2. After them, 7 through 10, we have Tennessee out of the SEC, Penn State out of the Big Ten, Clemson out of the ACC, and Kansas State out of which is crazy to see them up there. They've had a really good year at 9-3, out of the Big 12. So the bias question, or the question is about this bias. The Pac-12 hasn't had much love. There's only been once or twice, Washington got in a couple years ago, and then that was really it. But everyone's saying even if USC wins this game, well, they have one loss, and I don't know. Ohio State's kind of out of this thing already, but I don't know, maybe a team like Alabama could sneak in because they're in the SEC, even though they have 2 losses, or like Tennessee even, or somebody, and it's kind of frustrating because everyone's like, well, what about the Pac-12? Why is Pac-12, why is there no bias here? Sadly, this kind of led to USC and UCLA both leaving the Pac-12 coming up in 2 years' time, and they'll be in the freaking Big Ten conference, playing Midwestern schools for some odd reason. Now, what do you think? Do you feel that it's kind of ridiculous that there's this, I don't know, it just feels like there's a bias there, I don't know. But if SC wins tonight and wins a Pac-12 championship, what do you think? Do you feel like there should be no way that SC should not be in the college football playoff in the final top teams?
I don't know.
Do you feel that if they win tonight's game, that they deserve to have one of those final 4 spots to compete in the playoff?
Well, if they win, then yes.
Do you think so?
Yes.
So do you think it'd be unfair, for instance, if tomorrow, it's crazy to think, Michigan, of course, playing for a title, but if somebody, I do believe that this is really SC's year to lose, thing to lose, but even like TCU, Ohio State, if for some reason Ohio State gets in over USC, even winning a title, that's insane, isn't it? Mm-hmm. But sadly, that's kind of what we feel like in the Pac-12. Mm-hmm. I feel like there's some kind of bias. So at the moment, we're kind of like, what do we do? So, do you feel that because of this bias, this fear, both UCLA and SC and all these schools in the Pac-12 have, because there's some kind of East Coast bias that I do certainly feel exists, do you feel like that was necessary? Like, SC is like, hey, USC and UCLA, these two schools are leaving the Pac-12, going to the Big Ten. They're like, well, you seem to recognize these schools in that conference, so you know what we're going to do? Even though we're on the West Coast, we're going to uproot and leave and go to another conference in the Midwest. So that way, when we win that conference, there's no choice for the committee to put us in that 4-team playoff. I mean, do you feel that was a little drastic, or do you think USC and UCLA did the right thing by saying, you know what, no, we're going to go. If you're not going to notice notice us in this conference, you're going to notice us in this conference. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think they did the right thing, especially if they're not being noticed in the conference that they were already in. If they're trying to make a point across, then why not do whatever it takes to get there?
So you feel it was the right move to go to the Big Ten in 2 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but my wife has a point. It's annoying how the West, for some reason, we get shunned over here. But yeah, so USC, if we win this game tonight, there's no way that the USC shouldn't get in. But anyway, along the bigger question here, you know, we talked about this before a long time ago, and it's really crazy because don't you feel that, once again, all of the lower divisions do this? It's a big, giant bracket playoff. All of them. The volleyball just started. Crazy, right? But like all of the football, Division 3, Division 2, Division 1 AA, even the NAIA does it like this, where they have a big tournament. The top like 20, 24 or 16 teams, they line them up in brackets, and they just let them go at it. And the winner goes on, the loser goes home. Don't you feel that should be the way that they should do it in the major? You know, like in the biggest conference.
Well, yeah, that makes more sense to do it that way.
But unfortunately, we're all consumed by money, and well, they want all these different bowl games because the sponsorship carries them, and they make tons of money on them. But I mean, don't you feel that's kind of ridiculous though? Like, yeah, like only the top 4 teams go, and then now it relies on this committee to pick those top 4 teams, depending. You know, isn't that ridiculous?
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
So it's like they need to adopt, right? Like the smaller schools are doing. I just. Yeah, so anyway, I know. Just a little bit of a talk there on the college football playoff, but yeah, Terrence says here, USC is the Pac-12's last hope for relevancy, and that is for sure. So anyway, with that said, before we take our break for tonight, I definitely want to get into this. Once again, really, really, really excited. Just got Cecilia a brand new little gift here, her iPad, and she's been wanting one. I'm really happy because she's a big-time reader. Unfortunately, it's kind of rough to carry her books around and everything like that, and this woman can read, trust me. Really, really, really excited for her. She's just enjoying this darn iPad as much as possible. And, well, she has a new little book she's been reading, and my goodness, she is glued to this thing here. So, how about you tell us about this book you've been reading and give us a little something on it?
I just started reading once I got the iPad, which was 2 weeks ago?
Around there, yeah, I think
something like that. Obviously it was a super early Christmas gift from Larry, so that was really nice. But I'm loving the iPad so far. It's literally like a computer in your hand, but smaller. But I'm reading a book that's called A Not So Meet Cute, and I'm forgetting the author's name. It's Megan something. Mm-hmm. I think Megan Quinn.
Megan Quinn, yeah. Yeah,
Megan Quinn. And I've never heard of her until I just picked up a book. Usually what I do when I'm picking a book is I read what it's about, and then I read the first chapter, and if that catches my interest, then I usually tend to keep that book and then read the whole thing. But it's just about 2 people who fall into dilemmas, and they need to find someone who can help them out with their dilemmas. So it's like they use each other, and they already know. We're open about, oh, I need you for, the character is Lonnie and Huxley. I think that's how you say his name. And Huxley, sorry, there will be spoiler alerts if you're gonna read it, but needs to find a woman that he's supposedly engaged to and got pregnant, and then I'm forgetting the other character's name, and I just said her name. Lottie. She needs. I guess she's. Well, yeah. she needs to find like a really rich man in a way to make one of her friends jealous because her ex-boyfriend, I guess, fell in love with her friend. But her friend is like one of those like richy rich people who are very stuck up and snotty and wants to be Lottie's friend when she sees fit, kind of thing. And they went to high school together, and their reunion is coming up, and so she wanted to find someone who's like rich and good looking and everything. And I guess Huxley fits that. What would you call it? Like characteristics.
Yes.
And so they ended up meeting, or like somehow, it was like by fate, basically, ran into each other. And as they were walking on the street, like around the block. And yeah, so it goes on from there, and it's really good. A lot of funny, it's a very funny but romantic and not a lot, but so far like a couple plot twists and everything. But it's funny. It has me cracking up from time to time. So I'm loving the book so far.
I mean, as we talked about before, I had to ask. I had to. I was like, so is this basically like a chick flick you're reading?
Yes, it would be. It's like a rom-com, I guess you would say.
Oh, rom-com? What is this?
I think it means, I forget. I know what it means, but I can't really describe it. I think it means like a romantic comedy kind of thing.
Well, okay, that makes sense. Sitcom, rom-com. Okay, that makes sense. Yes, that's that's pretty funny. Okay,
anybody can correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah.
You are good. Well, I'll tell you, I'm really excited for, like I said, for Cecilia reading this book. She's been really into it, and yeah, it's funny. I see her cracking up sometimes out of nowhere. I hear her. I'm like, what the heck is all like the TV's not even on. It's like, I'm reading this book. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, it's funny. Like, and she can get lost in this book so easy.
Yeah, if I can spend all day reading a book, I so totally would.
Yeah, she's a bookworm, and I love it. I love her for that. So it's awesome. She enjoys it, and I'm really, really happy about it. So we're gonna have lots of updates on this new book. She's all getting me into it over here. I'm like, oh, interesting reading. She's getting, doing all that deal. So anyway, with that said, you guys, we're gonna take ourselves a quick.
Who knows? Maybe I can get Larry hooked on reading.
No,
I'm just kidding.
I don't know about none of that. Yeah, I'm the anti-reader. I'd rather walk sports.
Books.
Yes, the author, we've looked into her very thoroughly, or at least somewhat thoroughly, and yeah, Megan Quinn, she's awesome. She has like all kinds of sports books and football books in there, so yeah, who knows. But anyway, with that said, you guys, we are going to take our first draw of the night and get half of the bracket filled here. So would you do the honors?
Okay.
First spin here on the wheel tonight.
So I just click the center?
Yep, click the center, and we are off and running, everybody. So the first name of the night, once again, brought to you by the Google randomizer, Pierre Moss, of course. iESports Radio's own Pierre Moss jumping up on here, so glad to have him in this first bracket. Next up, who do we have? We're going to do 16 now, and then 16 a little bit towards the end of the show, so... All right, first draw here. We have Pierre Moss. Next up, Mr. Justin Ekstrom. He is a longtime fan here of iESports Radio. Really cool guy. And yeah, so we have our very own Pierre Moss, host of this. Used to be the host of the Soccer Scoreboard Show, but of course the co-host of the show that never sleeps, the owner of WSR, and Mr. Justin Ekstrom. So great guy there, and well, let's get another one.
We're ready for another one?
Ready for another one. Go ahead and announce the names. I'm sorry if you're hogging it.
I know, man. Just kidding. I'm afraid to butcher some of these people's names, so that's why I'm like, you could do it. So Randall H. Town Eagles.
Mr. Randall Moy, great guy. He's been, of course, on iSports Radio before plenty of times. He's a great dude, and yeah, he made it to like one of the final rounds a couple of years ago, but didn't get in. So maybe this will be the year he gets in.
Oh.
All right, and
again,
next up, in the first of the first bracket, I guess you can say, we have Jelani J.B. Bodie. Of course, that's our guy, man. Of course, part of the X Squad over there. Got to show him some love, man. He, of course, is in that first little wave. So the first bracket is out of the way, or shall I say the first, you guys get it. That's the first group there. So that is the first pool. Who will win? We shall see. So let's get into the second pool here. And please do the honors, my gorgeous wife. Who do we have?
We need that background music. Do, or however you do it.
I know, right?
Who is it? Keith?
Okay.
I don't want to put your last name, sorry.
Keith Jing.
Okay.
Crazy.
Keith Jing. That's a very cool last name.
He's a great guy. He's been around iSports Radio for many years. He has been on so many shows. He's a Giants fan from Vermont, actually, in the freezing cold. Took a picture with his iSports Radio shirt in the snow. Really cool guy. I've been rooting for him to get in for many years now. He's a football coach. Really, really cool guy.
Oh, that's cool.
He's actually an engineer.
Wow.
Very smart dude, but I'm very happy that he can be in this group here. So, all right, who do we got next?
All right, let's see.
Who do we have?
We have Adrian Ramsfan.
Adrian, AC the Don. Mr. Adrian has been on numerous primetime face-offs, big-time Rams fan by way of Colorado. By the way, so how do you like that? Rams fan by way of Colorado. Huh? So, great guy there, and he definitely, I believe, he deserves this as well. So, all right, who else do we got?
All right.
It's pretty fun, isn't it?
Yeah, I've never used this before, so it's pretty cool. I've seen people use it, but I've never used it until now.
It is always a fun time. And, well, who do we got?
I'm having fun with it. TJ Bloomfield.
He is a Buccaneers fan by way of England.
Wow.
Great guy, right? Mm-hmm. He's been on a couple primetime face-offs, especially a couple years ago when they were in the bowl. And you know what time? Well, remember you were around, of course. Right? Kind of crazy. Last year, he made it a point to be on the show at 1 a.m. his time, 4 p.m. our time. Made an effort, gets to be on the show a couple of weeks in a row. How you like that?
That's pretty cool.
Right? Great dude. So, okay, and the final of this group, we have...
Let's see.
Whoops.
We have Larry. I'm not saying his last name.
Atkinson. Big...
Oh, go ahead.
Big Daddy Addy. He is a great dude. He was, of course, a big-time Ohio State fan. He was on the show many times years ago. I haven't had him on lately, but he is definitely deserving of this. So those are the first two groups out of the way. Let's go ahead and get on to the next two groups.
How do you say his last name again?
Atkinson.
Atkinson.
Really cool guy from Ohio, by way of Ohio. So, anyway.
Did you ask these people how they pronounce it?
I have. I've
okay.
asked them so many times. Taryn says here, the host of Wait a Minute Show and the founder of Wait a Minute Show, Toy Drive. Yeah, awesome, man. Johnny JV Buddy's such a great guy. Has a toy drive every year, of course, to help the children out in the Atlanta area. Really, really cool guy. And then, yeah, Taryn also says it feels like a mixture of Wheel of Fortune when I hear the wheel.
Yeah, it kind of does sound like that.
Yeah, great stuff. So wheelofnames.com. Go check it out. Really cool little randomizer here. Got to show them some love. So, okay, next bracket. Who do we got, Ben?
Oh, we're going again?
Let's spin it again.
And we have Scott Shaw.
Scott Scholl.
Scholl,
for
sorry.
real, no. Okay, you're good.
Scholl.
Scott Scholl. This man has been on so many primetime face-offs. He's only lost once or twice, I believe. I can't even count. I mean, he's a big-time Ravens fan all the way from the DMV. Loving that dirty purple he wears over there with the Ravens. So, yeah, glad to have him a part of this. And let's see what happens this year. So, alrighty, next up.
Why do they call it a dirty purple? That doesn't make any sense.
Because
just call it purple.
The Vikings purple is clean purple.
That sounds funny.
Just kidding. All right, what do we got?
Yeah.
Mr. Dontarius Locke. He is the man. He, of course, is one half of of Fast Break here on IESports Radio. Been on numerous primetime face-offs. Just a great guy, and glad to have him a part of the IESports Radio team. So a longtime member there, and well, he is the second person in this third pool. So who do we got next?
Okay.
This is just so much fun spinning this wheel, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we have Mr. Cale Henderson. He was once upon a time, him and Mr. Nico Green, when he was a part of us, they used to host the Neutral Zone together years ago. I actually hit him up. Cale, by the way, in Nebraska, he's a football coach. He has a really cool guy. And wouldn't you know it, he came back. He's a big-time Raider fan, and I asked him if he'd like to host our Vegas sports show. He has been thriving ever since, hosting Sin City Sports, of course, you know. And, well, he deserves this honor very much, and glad to have him in this pool. So, all right. Right? So, great guy, Mr. Cale Henderson. So, all right, who do we have next?
Yeah, Phil Jones.
Mr. Phil Jones. He, of course, a longtime member of iSports Radio for so many years. Him and Phil Robinson would branch off to do their own thing, The Unfiltered Truth, a couple of years back. But those gentlemen have been done so well for themselves. And, yeah, really cool to have once had them here at iSports Radio. He helped bring us Daryl Kinsey Jr., which is also on this wheel, so glad to have him. And, well, let's see what happens with Mr. Phil Jones this year. So, awesome stuff. All right, we have 4 more names to draw here before our break. Let's go ahead and get those names. Who do we got? Spin that wheel round and round. All right. Miss Marcela Vargas, all the way from La Ciudad de Mexico. She, of course, a Packer fan, all the way from Mexico City. Fun story I always tell about this girl. A couple years ago, my goodness, we're talking like, my gosh, this was when iSports Radio was almost in its infant stages, like right when I started the primetime face-offs. Actually, no, even before then. I had Marcela on one time. I think her birthday was October, November, around there. To talk about her Packers. This woman was at her birthday at a club with her friends, but literally made it a point to go outside in the rain, by the way, on her birthday, outside of the club, to talk Packers football with me for like 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. How awesome, right?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I think I was there when you were recording that.
Right? I mean, yeah. This is like 2016.
Oh, okay, never mind.
No, but you were also here this year when she was a part of 8 Divisions in 8 Days.
Oh,
and we talked about that. Yeah, so she's awesome, and yeah, she's really doing great things with her deal on Twitter as well, and yeah, she's awesome. So, all right, so glad to have her a part of this group. All right, and let's get a couple more. We got 3 more.
Yeah, Marcus loves great.
Marcus loves great. He gives you what you want. He gives you what you need. Yeah, man. Yeah. That's our boy Marcus. Always glad to have him. Of course, he is the host of Gloves Off, our combat sports show here at iSports Radio. Currently on his vacation. He'll be back coming up at the end of January. Definitely deserving of this. Big time promoter of iSports Radio and just a great dear friend of mine. Great guy. And just glad to have him part of the iSports Radio family. So he definitely deserves this. So let's see what he does in this group. And we need 2 more. 2 more. Who do we got?
For the lucky 2. Yeah, Bobby. I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Try it. He asked me on air. He was like, "How do you think you say it?"
No.
And I was like, "I'm gonna try to sound it out." He's like, "Go ahead, try it." And I said it correctly. See if you can pronounce it.
Nope, I'm not gonna try.
Bobby Tuzinski.
Tuzinski.
He, of course, has battled Taryn more times than he'd ever want to on primetime face-offs. Big-time Chiefs fan all the way from the Midwest. He's been on so many primetime face-offs. He promotes iSports Radio like crazy. He's just a big-time fan. He's been on he has actually been in so many of these. Like the last 3 years, he's actually been a nominee, and unfortunately, he has not gotten in. He's made it pretty far, but let's see if this is the year he gets in as an inductee.
Maybe this will be his year.
Let's see.
Fingers crossed.
Let's see.
Good luck.
Good luck to Mr. Bobby. All right, and one more to end off these 4 groups. Let's see who we got here.
We have Aaron X.
We have Mr. Aaron X. And that, of course, newcomer, but this guy has literally proven what it takes to be a IESports Radio. This guy's amazing. He is the host of the Crossroads podcast here on IESports Radio every Saturday morning. This guy's the man. I mean, he just shows every single week, like, professional, just does the thing right. He's there wherever we need him. He's at every meeting. I mean, the guy he just shows what it is to wear these black and white colors of IESports Radio very well, and we are just so happy to have him a part of our network. So, with that said, very deserving, and sorry, Taryn. Yeah. Bobby, he bowed him once, but still, they had a good face-off. And, well, let's go ahead and take ourselves a break. When we get back, we will, of course, talk about USC's touchdown. That's right, 14-3 over Utah right now, so really happy about that. But we got to talk about our main topic, of course, esports. Are they really a sport? Of course. And should they be considered athletes? Should it be? We're going to scratch off our challenge from our little book we got to do. I'm really excited for that one. And then, of course, for our dating challenge. And then, of course, talk a little bit about Qatar 2022. You're listening to the Sports Club Perspectives right here on iSports Radio. Your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back after this.
It's been 20 years since Brazil lifted the World Cup trophy. For Neymar and Gabriel Jesus, that is unacceptable and must be changed. The 2022 World Cup comes to the USRN family of networks in November.
The proud clubs. The exciting young talents, and some of the most passionate supporters in all of the world. Football as it's meant to be. The Bundesliga, all season long on USRN, Wellington Sports Radio, and IE Sports Radio.
Hey sports fans, do you like wine? Well, we've got the show for you. This is Let's Wine About Sports, a show where we talk about wine and sports simultaneously. From the classic Cabernet Sauvignon all the way down to the grapes that you've never even heard of before. Oh yeah, we cover it all. And we'll talk about a little bit of sports as well. Football, hockey, collegiate, women's sports, it doesn't matter. We're going to talk about it all, and we're going to whine about it all. So join me Monday at 8 p.m. on IU Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
That is right, ladies and gentlemen. IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Terrence says Bobby's going to make it soon. I know it. Well, let's see if he does. See if this voting goes in his way. But really fast today, really excited. Qatar 2022. Well, the group stage is officially over, and well, this has been it has been a journey for some of these teams. The round of 16 is set. Cecilia knows I've been up at the oddest hours watching soccer, especially during our break last week.
Yeah.
Our little kitty that keeps us up, though, consistently just kind of makes it easier.
Yeah, for you.
So.
I stay knocked out in my nice warm bed.
I like how she says her warm bed.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's mine.
I love it. Yes, it is. So, in the first round here, we have on the left side, the left bracket here, after the group stage, Netherlands versus the USA. We made it! We made it. Where's our little sound effect? We made it! USA! USA! I'm excited. I am very excited. You ready for this? You ready for this?
I haven't really been watching them.
Well, coming up on Saturday, it's going to be awesome. Netherlands and the U.S. get down. Really excited for that one. Then, of course, underneath them, we have here Argentina and Australia going head-to-head. That should be a fun match. Then Japan and Croatia. And then to finish out that left bracket, Brazil and South Korea. Then, of course, we have on the right side of the bracket, England taking on Cameroon. Should be a good little matchup there. We have France taking on Poland. Morocco taking on Spain. And last but not least, Portugal taking on Switzerland.
Cool.
There we have it. Well, with that said, I am just ecstatic for this World Cup. I mean, the knockout stage starts on Saturday, and we are ready to rock and roll. So I am excited for that one. And, well, it's going to be a great World Cup here. So, with that said, you guys, our apologies. Got to attend to something real quick here. We'll take ourselves one more short break. When we get back, then we will get on to the rest of our show and the rest of the draw. Once again, you're listening to the Sports Club Perspectives right here on iSports Radio. Your direct feed for all that is sports. Once again, we'll be right back after this.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Davidson.
It's your boy, Lentarius Live.
And we are the hosts of Fast Break here on IESports Radio, where we discuss everything in the world of basketball from prep to the pros.
You guys should definitely check us out, man. Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We got all the basketball information you guys need, so we look forward to you guys listening in.
And please do, because we are the best basketball show on this side of the Mississippi. And please do check us out on Twitter at FastBreakISR. D-Lock, where's our time again?
8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. That give you guys plenty of time on a Sunday.
Tune in.
What's good, fight fans? It's your boy, Marcus Los Great, here to give you what you want, here to give you what you need. Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm coming to you live, straight from your mama's basement with a crispy, awesome white tea. We are coming to you live every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Powered by IESports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, a little bit of a crazy situation. We are back. Oh my goodness. Sorry about that, you guys. So, alrighty, we are back at it, and we have ourselves some more to get into. Really excited for this World Cup, as I mentioned. Just so happy for the U.S. Let's just hope this is the year. You know, I mean, the U.S. has just been laughed at in the World Cup for so many years. And now it's like we could actually compete. Isn't that exciting?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I mean, we as Americans are very proud of our teams. And this year, it feels special. So hopefully this is the year. And even if not, it doesn't matter. You know what? At least we balled. At least we're there. And we'll see. And of course, big ups to our ladies. We don't got to go any further without talking about them. Of course, the U.S. women's national team, always amazing. I think is doing great things. And really excited, of course, when for the next Women's World Cup. But as of right now, the ladies have shown us multiple times that they can win World Cups. The men, though, got some splaining to do. They got some work to do here. So we're both very excited for the U.S. And hopefully things can work out and get better here for them for this year. So anyway, with that said, we got one more thing to talk about here before we go ahead and get on to our little date book. And that, of course, is the IESports Radio Bowl. Yay! We are currently 4th place. How do you feel?
That's pretty cool.
We were the champs last year. Beat Column and the Bayou Blouse. I don't know how to pronounce how he. I know. I mean, the EUO is an O, or in a sense, but regardless, I'm really excited. We have snuck our way into the playoffs at the moment. We still have weeks to go, but right now, Newton's law of savagery, of course, that is the guy who we just happened to be. Thank God, Josh Jacobs had a great day a couple weeks ago, or we for the Raiders, our running back, and got us a victory over John. But yeah, he's currently holding down the number 1 seed at 9-3. Then we have Go Wine About It. I wonder who that is. Mr. Mike Pat at 9-3. Then, of course, Mr. Tanner Rodriguez with Rams, not Lambs, at 8-4. And then us, the Metropolis Sharks. Does anybody want to take a stab at where that came from? Would you like to tell them?
It came from the show that I used to watch. It's called Smallville. It's about Superman.
For those of you who don't know what Smallville is, they must be living under a rock. But yeah, there was a point last year where he just couldn't get away from Smallville. It's like everywhere I went, it was like Smallville Central. Cecilia had Smallville here and here and here. And it was just like every day. So she was like determined to get through all. There was like 50 seasons?
No.
That's what it felt like.
I don't remember. I think there was only 10.
It's a lot of seasons.
That's not a lot of seasons.
Well, there was seasons everywhere. And felt like a pantry. Sorry. Get it? Seasons everywhere. Anyway, so we are the Metropolis Sharks. And then right beneath us, who still has a chance, AZ Cards Princess, of course, and Angela, the GM here at iSports Radio, and Mr. Kansas City Madness. That, of course, is in our PR department, Brandon. The Bayou Blues at 6-6 as well, Kylan Reynolds, and then after him, full chub, Mr. Andrew Hagenball. So we'll see. After that, I don't know. We have some tough ones here. Winston, some lose some, I think. 4-8, and then Turban Patriot, and forward to Team Turban Patriot at 0-12. So we'll keep you guys updated on our iSports Radio Bowl. This is iSports Radio Bowl 6. So really excited for this, and well, let's see. So anyway, with that said, you ready to scratch off our new challenge in our book?
Yeah.
I'm excited. So while I'll get the book real fast, go ahead and explain it. We had a cool little deal. The last one, we didn't get to do it, but it wasn't really a challenge.
I mean, it is. You continuously have to work on it, throughout. Whenever you feel like basically writing a love letter or just something that is either encouraging or something that you want to say to each other. And you get a notebook. Well, we were supposed to. We haven't done it yet, but we need to. You get a notebook, and you can decorate it yourself the way that you want to. And obviously the notebook is intended for both of us to read it. But yeah. So we'll have to see what the new one says, and we'll have to do both of them.
Yeah, so we're excited for that one. But it's more of like a builder. Like Cecilia said, it's more of like a little builder. Now I get to hand the book over to her because she made me choose the last one. And she gets to choose here on the spot.
Oh, okay.
And, well, we can see what the next date is. Once again, we're going to do every date in this book. So, I mean, we got to do them all. But
yeah, we have to finish them all.
Such a cool little book for those of you who are just so new to the show. The Adventure Challenge, just a couples edition is really cool. We get to scratch off little dates here. And, yeah, we'll kind of see what's up. But really, really neat how it works. And we'll just see how things go. So.
I'll just do this one. It says recipe for disaster. We could be spending about $10 to $30. It says before 7 p.m. And then I guess it could take up to 3 to 4 hours. Well, it looks like we'll probably be home doing it because we have to go shopping.
Uh-oh.
And yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it shows a home, so we'll be doing it inside of our home.
Alrighty, so while Cecilia does that and scratches us off, her favorite part, the little scratcher, I will go ahead and do some more of the wheel here. So let's take a look. The next group here is, well, we shall see. So, back to the groups here. Who do we have? What do we got? We have, of course, Mr. Arthur Parsons, host of the Bayou Bulletin here at iESports Radio. Glad to have him a part of us and definitely deserving of being here. Next up, let's take a look. Let's spin that wheel and see. We have here Mr. Mike Pat, of course. Let's whine about sports. You heard him a few minutes ago, so let's see how he does this year. He's been a big part of iSports Radio for a long time. Numerous shows here with me on 3 and Out. He's hosted, especially during the draft, him and I and Taryn and all of us. Adam Karnick, we have a party, John Felipe. And of course, he's the host of Let's Whine About Sports, as I mentioned already, and the chief editor of the blog, so of our iSports Radio blog. So just a great guy all around. Glad to have him a part of this. Next up, let's spin that wheel and see who we got here. Next up is Mr. Dave Friedman. So many of you guys know him. Last year, he was him. They had a really, really cool show, the Kansas City Shuffle. They, of course, get off to do other things. I don't know if he's still podcasting, but we still keep in touch every now and then, and Dave definitely deserves it. Big time podcast personality, and yeah, whether he's podcasting with us one day again or by himself, definitely, or him and of course Pez Choir, remember they were doing their show. Great stuff as always, and Greg, but let's just see what's to come for them in their podcasting future. But hey, let's see if he could be a Hall of Famer here at iSports Radio, definitely deserving. And last but not least, for this group, we will have the one and only Adam Karnick. Yeah, he is the host of Chi-Town Weekly, overall great guy, and he definitely is deserving of this as well. One of the COOs here at iESports Radio, so certainly deserving. Next up here, so that is one group of 4, and the next is to come. And we have Chris Amos. He is one half of Philly Sports Talk here at iSports Radio. Just carried the show so well, him and Bobby Cash. Actually, him and Bobby Cash are both on this ballot here. So, pretty cool. Let's take a look. And, well, who do we have next? That is B-Mo Flocka. Another Ravens fan here. Of course, numerous primetime face-offs last year, and well, glad to have him in this iSports Radio Hall of Fame pool this year. Would you like to, Cecilia just finished scratching it off, so would you like to continue spinning the wheel for us? Let's take a look and see who we got next.
Yeah, Davidson Cooks.
He, of course, the other half of Fast Break here at iESports Radio, longtime member, of course, the host of his own show, The Crooks Process, and him and Notarius Locke do such a great job every Sunday night throughout basketball season, and even out of the basketball season sometimes. They just do such a great job. I'm so glad to have those guys a part of this, so definitely deserving here. And one more for this group. Who do we have?
Sorry, excuse me. Yeah, Bobby Cash.
Wouldn't you know it? Bobby Cash and Chris Amos both. He, of course, is the other half of Philly Sports Talk. And, well, he is going to be competing against his co-host in this group. Cool, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so we have 2 more groups to fill up. Only 8 names remain. Let's go ahead and kick and finish this off here. 8 names, but what pool will they go into? Spin that wheel. This is fun.
We have Dale Kinsey Jr.
And Mr. Dale Kinsey Jr., of course, of the Extra Mile, longtime host here at iESports Radio. Blog writer, just overall great dude. He has been with us for, my gosh, iESports Radio has been around for 8.5 years. He's been with us for like 6 of those 8.5 years. He's been around such a long time. Mr. Phil Jones actually brought him over to us and introduced me to him years ago, and well, the rest is history. So, really great guy. He has been a part of so many, Daryl has been to the last 2 final rounds, like the last couple of years, but no cigar. Last year, believe it or not, he finished just outside the top 4 that get in. I think he was either 5 or 6 and did not get in, by just a few votes. So let's see if he gets in this year into the iSports Radio Hall of Fame. Definitely deserving, right?
Yeah.
All right, so who do we got next?
We have Seth Eves.
And Mr. Seth Eves. Of course, he is a part of USRN. Great guy here, and we definitely appreciate Seth Eves and all he does. He's actually on the call right now over on USRN, calling this game we're watching on mute, Utah versus USC. We're going to go over there in a few minutes and listen to that after the show. But, yeah, always does a great job, and Seth Eves definitely deserving of this award. And next up, we got 2 more names. Who will this group conclude with? Let's take a look.
We have Josh Ritter.
Mr. Josh Ritter, a long time, again, fan here of iESports Radio. He's just an overall great guy, and we definitely appreciate him for just, the guy's amazing, and he's been on so many episodes of 3 and Out. I mean, my goodness, he's somebody that I can pretty much hit up any given time, and if he's free, he's there. I mean, he's a great guy. He is the one person that goes to show you that geography has nothing to do with all of your teams, because he is a diehard fan of teams around the country that are nowhere near him, all in different cities, for all different sports, all major sports, and he is up there in Northern California. So really, really great guy, and glad to have him a part of this as well. He's been a part of a couple of first, second rounds, hasn't gotten very far, but let's see if this is his year.
All right, we'll see.
And we got one more, and then the last 4 will be in, of course, their group. So one more spin of the wheel tonight. And Mr. Rudy Reyes, the host of the Rude Dog Show. He's been to the ESPYs. He has been everywhere. I mean, this guy has done so many great things. He used to be a part of us here at IESports Radio, hosting our old baseball show, one of our old baseball shows called Friday Night Lights. He had interviewed Lenny Dykstra, MLB Hall of Famer, here on IESports Radio. I mean, he has done a lot. So we're really glad to have him here. And, well, there you go. And, of course, the final four and the final group will be Earl. He, of course, is the Eagles fan. Mr. Earl has been a part of has been on numerous IESports Radio shows and just overall great guy. Him and I still keep up. And certainly glad to have him. Last year, I believe he was in his first or second IESports Radio Hall of Fame running. He was here. Didn't make it very far, but unfortunately, let's see if he gets to go going this year. Big time Eagles fan from Delaware. He's on our IESports Radio, repping IESports Radio page on our website, all the way from Delaware with his IESports Radio t-shirt on. Mr. Matthew Owens, the head of USRN, of course. I mean, the man needs an introduction, does an amazing job and helps us out definitely over at IESports Radio with plenty of great live calls as well as USRN and WSR. John Felipe, the guy that you just heard about a little bit over an hour ago, of course, the host of the Carolina Cast. He, of course, is one half of the Brothers Blue, big-time Panthers fan. Of course, the Brothers Blue, a Panthers channel over on YouTube. Glad to have him there. And, of course, last but not least, Mr. Phil Robinson III. Him and Phil Jones used to do Fast Break for us here at IESports Radio. And, of course, The Unfiltered Truth when it was a part of IESports Radio. Just great overall guy up in Northern California. Of course, him and Phil Jones, big-time Raider fans. That's where we all definitely connect. And another person very deserving of the IESports Radio Hall of Fame. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Can we get a big round of applause for everybody in the IESports Radio running, Hall of Fame running, that is. And, well, there we have it. What do you think?
Good luck to everybody. That's really cool.
That's right. So we shall see the top two of every one of these polls go on to the next round. And then we will have, of course, the regular group stage where we count all the votes and see who does what. So we shall see. And, well, congratulations to everybody in this thing. The voting will start tomorrow. And, well, we'll have just 2 days to see how many votes they can get. And on Monday starts the round of 16. So it should be fun. And then, of course, so this weekend only is a round of 32. Then the round of 16 will start on Monday, the 5th. Then we'll have the round of 12. That starts on the 12th, ironically enough. Then the round of, and then, of course, we'll finish it off with a round of 8 ending on New Year's. So there we have it, you guys. And, well, there it is. So how about that date? What do we got going? Let's take a look at what we got with that date on our little adventure book.
You'll like it. It says, go to a bookstore and pick out a cookbook.
I like it.
Ask a stranger to open the book and pick out a recipe of their choosing. This is your meal for the night. You can either
I'm sorry, it's funny.
You can either purchase the book for later use or take a picture of the selected recipe. Enjoy making whatever random meal has been selected for you to create.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah, I'm not sure about all that because because the ingredients and stuff like that. I mean, obviously, it's already said that you have to buy. I mean, you have to go shopping for it, but yeah. But we'll see.
That's interesting. Well, I don't know.
I think we're going to have to, take this book with us, though, because I'm pretty sure a stranger will think we're weird for asking them to pick a recipe for us.
You know what? That does sound kind of weird, doesn't it?
So we'll bring the book with us to prove, we're not crazy. And show them the proof that we're doing it for a couples challenge.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. It's a little weird. But I think it'll be fun. And, well, there you have it. So, my goodness. That, oh my gosh, that was fun. And if I'm not mistaken, that's basically that. We talked about, and of course, our main topic of the night, I forgot. We gotta spend too much time on it, but esports. Do they belong in the topic of sports? We watched a couple really cool videos. One of them, actually, let's see here. One of those, I want to make sure we get them right. So, Ray Pastor, PhD, and then Sakios, I believe, Sakeeios, volleyball player and a League of Legends player as well. Really cool points that they brought up, and well, what do you think? Do you think that the big debate of should esports be considered sports? Do you think that's even? Do you think it's a correct thing to say that no, they're just sitting on their butt playing a video game? They're not really athletes. They don't deserve to be called a sport. Or do you think no, they actually put a lot of time into this? Oh, like how athletes do this differently. I mean, what are your thoughts on this? What do you think?
I would consider them a sport because they do, obviously, people take time. Some of them even get paid to do what they do, to play games all day and whatnot. Mm-hmm. What's that one streaming? Twitch? If you become very popular on there, you can actually get paid. It's like YouTube. If you have a big fan base, then you can get paid through them. But I see them as a different kind of sport. Because, they do compete, and I feel like anything that you compete in and you can win, either medals or trophies, I feel like, that is something that is considered a sport. Athletic-wise, I wouldn't say that they're athletes. Because, granted, they don't, exercise or... who knows? They probably do on their personal time, but you know what I mean. As a gamer, they don't exercise. They don't need to work out. They don't have to have any strength or stamina, if I said that correctly. But they do, I guess if there was hand workouts, you could work out your hands to make them become a little bit stronger and press buttons faster and whatnot. But, that's a lot of hand and eye coordination. So, they are working those parts out. Mm-hmm. I would keep those obviously separate. But, I would not call them athletes. And I do believe that it is a sport.
Well, I think we're definitely in agreement here. I think, like what the PhD guy said, let me go ahead just one more time, say his name. He was Ray Pastor. I don't know if it's Pastore or Pastor, but Pastore, and then comma PhD. Cool, he has a doctorate, and apparently he even said too, like he's a gamer as well. And I love what he said. Basically, we're not athletes. We're not sports. We're esports.
Esports, yeah.
It's like their own brand, their own thing. And you know what? I like that. I saw this really cool documentary. It was like 4 hours long. They were like an hour a piece on YouTube years ago about Super Smash Brothers, like on GameCube. And there was like an East Coast, West Coast thing going on. And they got into it with Japan, and they had like a big old rivalry thing going on. These people somehow held big conventions. Even at people's houses. People drove miles and miles to like go to someone's house and have tournaments, and like incredible, right? Like,
yeah, even at my school, they just started that recently with our kids. Is that they took a couple of the students who tend to play the Super Smash Brothers or Mario's, whatever it's called, and they competed. I forgot what place they got, but I think they won something.
That's so cool.
But yeah, I truly believe that they are an e-sport.
I agree. I think that they have their own thing. And I don't know about calling them athletes, but hey, e-athletes maybe. I don't know. Whatever you want to call it. Because I think there's a distinct line there. I think they, of course, they could be in shape if they want to. But it seems that time, it's a different skill set and a different type of in shape, in my opinion. Hand-eye coordination all day, eyes, and, I think it's really, really cool. And you know what? Like what you said, to add on to Sakios, the guy that said that he plays volleyball and League of Legends, it's crazy. He made so many great, if you guys want to watch these, great videos. Once again, the one by Ray Pastor is, should esports be considered a sport? And the other one by Sakios is, could sports actually be, could esports actually be considered regular sports. That was made 5 years ago. The one by Ray Pastor was a year ago. But I like what Sekio said here. Sekio said that esports has something that regular sports could never have, and that's the ability for everyone to compete with each other. And that's pretty cool. It's true. Think about it. Like, I hate to, I don't know. I think there are some things that, yes, a woman can definitely compete with men in. Like, for instance, I think our very first episode, we talked about Formula W, remember? Like a year and a half ago. I mean, I don't think that's right. It's a machine. Women should be able to compete with men in race cars. NASCAR does it. IndyCar has done it with, Danica Patrick and Shauna Robinson. And, I don't know why Formula One's like, nope, women can't drive against men. That doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
But I also don't feel that there should be a woman running back in the NFL.
Yeah.
No. I can't. I'm sorry. Call me call me sexist all you want or whatever. I don't care. That's a very brutal, violent sport. The object of the game is to literally destroy each other. It's just, I'm not trying to say a woman is weak, but we're just made different. It's genetics. And But anyway, before getting so far into that, I don't know. There's some sports where I feel, a woman can definitely compete. And then at the same exact time, if you're somebody like me who's really short, I have God-given strength, and I'm very happy about that. And I played so many great years of football in high school, college, and at the semi-pro level. But to think how different things would have been had I have been, instead of 5'9", 6'4". It's like height doesn't play a role in this either. You could really be anybody.
Yeah.
And if you're really skilled at this game, you can be a legend. I think it's really cool. Don't you think? Like, that's a different aspect that opened my eyes.
Yeah, I mean, they obviously don't discriminate against anyone or any age or anything like that. They're pretty open for everything, which is good.
I thought it was awesome. So I think, do we think it's a real sport? It's an e-sport.
Yeah, it's different. I consider it a sport, but it's obviously like an e-sport. Oh, no, go ahead. I forgot what I was going to say.
Well, it's true. You put in time. Like we talked about cheerleaders before. Cheerleaders and dancers, they need to be considered athletes. They put in tons of work. They work on their bodies.
Yeah, they work out, and they have to move their bodies in ways that you usually don't. Yeah,
it's something that I feel is those women and men, dancers, they need to be considered. Those are athletes. They work hard. They have a sport. They work very, very hard. So to the ones who don't...
Oh, yeah, with that, too. What's that one game that I think one of, or both of them were talking about?
Which one? The League of Legends game?
Yes, the League of Legends, too. They work together as a team. So, I mean, if you're put in teams, I feel like, obviously that's like a sport. Because they all have to work together to make sure that their whole team wins.
Yeah. And pretty cool, right?
And they all have to wear headsets or at least be in the same room to discuss their strategies and everything like that.
Exactly. I think that is so cool that, like, you get that perspective of, like, a team. Counter-Strike has that, I mean, this is really cool. There's just different games that you can team up on. And it's funny because no matter what, that team aspect is always great. So think about this, and I'm gonna really go in here. I'm gonna surprise Cecilia a little bit. So, couple of years ago, Cecilia and I have been together for over 2.5 years now. It's awesome. But remember, like in our first 6 months of dating, Cecilia was so keen on me seeing the Twilight series because she was like, "You need to watch this. We're gonna watch this." Well, kind of crazy. It got divided. I remember seeing, it made sense. All of these girls, it's usually girls, that had a team so-and-so. The werewolf guy and the vampire guy.
Team Jacob and Team Edward.
How about that? Not even a sport, and it got divided into two teams for who you support.
It's because they're different worlds. He's a human, and he can still grow old. It just takes him a little bit of time. Whereas Edward is stuck. He's frozen in what he is now.
But still, I remember seeing lines outside of theaters for the openings of these shows when it was in theaters, and just all these different team Edward, right? And what's the other guy's name? I almost called him Justin. The other guy, the werewolf.
Edward.
The werewolf.
Oh, Jacob.
Jacob. I was close. It was a J. But yeah, you see that guy. It's like there's teams. And I think it's crazy because it's like, what team are you on? And it's like, who gets the girl, right? In a sense, like that's who you want to win. You know, so it's kind of cool because even though it has nothing to do with sports, it's a team, and it's like it's a rivalry now. Oh no! And even if it's in a movie, I mean, I don't know. So, what do you think of that whole team aspect? Do you feel like that right there is a major aspect of what makes something sporty, or not really, or I don't know? What do you think? Because the movie definitely isn't a sport.
No.
But I'm just saying it's kind of cool because when you bring the team aspect into it, it just brings another element. I think. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. I think you used that as a weird analogy, but okay. Yeah, I don't know what I was gonna say, but I mean, I guess, yeah.
Well, I'm just saying that movie. I mean, of course, not a sport, but what I'm trying to get at is the fact that I don't know, like you bring a team aspect into it, and it really blows up. So you bring in a team aspect, like saying, like like that League of Legends game, you play on teams. Okay, now it's not even just individual no more; it's a team thing. Now it feels more like a sport than ever. I feel like that competitiveness just brings a different egg. So that's what I'm trying to say, is with like Twilight, that competitiveness brought a whole new aspect to the movie.
I guess.
Don't you think?
I mean, I never really was, I guess I can't speak for myself. I just saw it as like a movie, and whomever she fell in love with was who she fell in love with. But, I mean, I guess if you want to see it that way, then yeah.
Well, I don't know. It looked pretty competitive to me. There are girls are wearing those shirts like crazy and team this, team that around school when I was in college and everything. I don't know. I mean, it's just crazy. So it's like, I don't know. When you're rooting for somebody on a team, I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. So anyway, sorry. But anyway, with that said, you guys, USC is looking good. 17-10 right now. Just about 1:53 to go, actually, in the first half. We are going to get us some dinner and enjoy the rest of our evening. We hope you enjoyed tonight's show because, well, it was a good one and a fun one. And we really appreciate you all for being here tonight and showing us some love. And, well, cue that music because we are on out of here. That was a fun one.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, they all are.
Yeah.
So, with that said, you guys, that is going to do it for our show here tonight. Oh my goodness. I'm just really excited for this draw. Of course, we're going to try a little something different here for the IESR Hall of Fame this year. And I'm just really excited for all we got going on. And yeah, Cecilia and I will be regularly. This is, oh my gosh. Once again, just had to balance out the work-school life, right? Well, me working school and us just work and doing this and everything. But anyway. So, any final thoughts or words to our listeners tonight?
Thank you for listening. Thank you for the love and support. Take care, be safe, and stay healthy.
Please do, everybody. It's a crazy world out there. Please just all be safe and healthy and happy. And as always, big ups to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Without him, nothing is possible. And of course, big ups to all of our listeners out there. Without you guys, nothing is possible. Shout out to our Patreons, Mrs. Parsons. Parsons. Marcus Lowe's Great, Bay Area Apparel, and Anonymous. And thank you all for showing love each and every week and being there in our chat rooms and retweeting our stuff and reading our blogs and going to the IESR website and purchasing our merchandise and just all the stuff you guys do. We just appreciate you so much, and we thank you for that. So that is pretty much going to do it. But once again, congratulations to everybody in the IESports Radio Hall of Fame, well, the nominees, that is, and, well, we shall see who goes where. Once again, here's a brief reminder of those pools. We have here Pierre Moss, Mr. Justin Ekstrom, Brandel Moy, and Jelani J.B. Bodie in Group 1. In Group 2, Keith Jing, hope I didn't butcher that name, Adrian, AC the GDB, Mr. TJ Bloomfield, and Larry Atkinson. Next group, Show for Real, Mr. Scott Scholl, Darius Locke, Kel Henderson, and Phil Jones. Next group, Marcelo Vargas, Marcus Lowe's Great, Bobby Tuzinski, and Aaron X. Next group, Arthur Parsons, Mike Pat, Adam Karnick, and Dave Friedman. In the next group, Chris Amos, Emo Flocka, Davidson Crooks, and Bobby Cash. Next group, Gerald Kinsey Jr., Seth Eves, Josh Ritter, and Rudy Reyes. And the next group, Earl, Matthew Owens, John Felipe, and Phil Jones. Congratulations once again to every one of you. All the best. Best luck to every one of y'all, and we'll see who gets in this year for the iESports Radio Hall of Fame class of 2022. With that said, you guys, that will do it. We are out of here, Cecilia and I. For my beautiful wife, Cecilia, for me, your boy, Larry B. We will see y'all next week. Until then, take care. And as always, God bless.